Welcome back, dear viewers, and I'm pleased now to be joined by our distinguished guest in the studio, Mr. Ahmad Salmeen, who's a sustainable and green building engineer. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, I would like to ask you first off, what was the specific light bulb moment that started this company, please?
We started by realizing that there is a misconception that people are having about their relationship between the spaces that they live or work in and their health, whether it's mental and physical. There is a lot of people are complaining that they have headaches once they enter this space. They feel cold for no clear reason. But the reason for me specifically, I know it's the design of the space, but for others, they don't feel that it is the space. So when we realize that people are having this issue and or let's say the misconception or the relationship between the spaces and their health, we thought that this is the right time for us to change some spaces for people.
So was this a market that you already knew about, or did it appear as you were working?
So it's the market itself, because I do a lot of design projects. And back when I was in the university, we knew the relationship. We knew about such mental or physical health that is linked to the spaces. So, and it's not just me saying it. There's a lot of studies and statistics are proving and saying so. So we realized that this is an actual thing. So let's try to bring it and fix it for people.
Did you start as a designer or an entrepreneur first?
So actually neither. I started as an engineer. I do have an engineering background, but I always had the passion towards more design, creating spaces. I focus more in the interior spaces and the function of the space itself. So gradually I switched from an engineering background, linking it more into sustainable engineer or sustainable design. And the entrepreneurship or being an entrepreneur came when I thought that this problem or the solution that we are providing is actually needs to be scaled. So this is, I believe, when...
Did you start as a designer or an entrepreneur first?
So actually it's neither. So I do have an engineering background, but designing or having interior design, I would say it always has been a passion since I was young, when I wanted to change our spaces, our home. But it's gradually changed from an engineering after graduation, founding the passion, especially when it comes to sustainable spaces. So I thought, why not? Let's just try it. And I found, as they say, I found myself in that field. However, when it comes to entrepreneur or entrepreneurship, it's always been as I believe that the problem that we are solving or the solution worth to be scaled. So this is where people are linking it to entrepreneurship, I would say.
Right, mashallah. Now, I'd like to ask you, when somebody starts something such as what you have started, usually they find it, the first year especially, the most challenging. So what was the biggest mistake, if you want to call it that, that you made during your first year?
I'm not going to call it a mistake because I recently heard a clip that we should not call it a mistake, we should call it a feedback. However, if we are just going to go with the mistake, it's just because I'm very a perfectionist. I do care about the smallest detail about how things should look like. And when we started or released our MVP as a proof of concept, I spent a really long time, honestly, just making it perfect, where the intent of the MVP was just a proof of concept to validate it. Right. So I would say the first mistake was just to make sure that the smallest details is there when we didn't need it. So it's just loss of time, I would say, but I really enjoyed the process and the journey, honestly.
I'm glad you said that because in my opinion, you're right. We shouldn't call it mistakes, right? It's a learning opportunity, it's experience, it's something you can't even buy. You can't get a course in or an education in. It's something that you have to live through.
Absolutely. And even like with the ups and downs, even if whatever you are trying to do didn't work, or it failed after a few months, days, it's fine, enjoy it. It's just it's hard for people to acknowledge and accept that. But alhamdulillah, I learned it the hard way, as they say.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Now, I'd like to ask you, how did you find your niche in such a crowded market?
So what we are trying to focus, I would say, when it comes to sustainable design, some people, they do have the misconception about sustainable design. It's not just even a misconception. Some people, they don't have the knowledge or the information about what is sustainable design is. So if we are going to call this is a niche, it's so hard because, as I said, that the term sustainability here in the region, it's not there yet. So what we are trying to do is taking it abroad and to take it in a different aspect, I would say. So basically making sure that the design of the interior spaces are actually following sustainability standard without the people or the individuals knows. Because if we are just going to go to the people who knows about sustainable design or sustainable spaces, that won't make a successful, let's say, business. So we had to make sure that the core of what we are doing or our mission is implemented. Nonetheless, people are aware of sustainability, I would say.
Right. Now, who was the first client that made you feel that you've made it?
Honestly, there are a lot. And I don't know, maybe due to confidentialities with them, because we haven't finalized the contract, I can't mention a specific name. However, there are a lot when we were pitching them the idea or asking them to be partner with us through this journey. The interest that we saw from them from day one or from the first few minutes, it was amazing. This is what actually let us to believe more about it and to take it to the next step. So there are a lot. I wish I can mention all of them, but they are part of the success that we have.
And how did you handle the skeptics who didn't value healthy design, let's say?
Honestly speaking, is just again back to the awareness about sustainability. As I said, that people, they might not aware of what is sustainable or sustainable spaces. They might link sustainability with recycling or just like plants here and there. So as I said, that we are just ensuring that the design of the space itself is implementing sustainability without them knowing, because some people think that actually sustainability is just an added cost.
Yes.
However, we are ensuring that it's not just an added cost, it's actually we are reducing the cost. Because if, for instance, if we are just going to talk about lighting, we can talk about a space that has, let's say, 6 spotlights. However, we are not recommending this for a bedroom. We are removing all of them. So it's actually, when it comes to cost, we are reducing that. But we are not clearly mentioning to the individuals or the people who are using the platform or the app itself. We are just making sure it's there in the design, just to have less, I would say, belief about the sustainability.
Right. This is a great segue for something that maybe we mentioned off air, which is about the app that maybe some people can take pictures. If you are able to mention how that works for our dear viewers that are watching, I think that's very beneficial.
Yeah, so it's basically, the app has 2 main functions. It's either that they analyze their existing spaces, so simply they go and scan their space, and using the system that we have built, it tells them how to improve it. So for instance, if you need to add some curtains, you change the lightings, etc. And with AI, as we were speaking about it earlier, they get to see how their optimized and healthier space should look like.
Amazing.
Or if they have an empty space that they want to actually design it, they take a picture of it and they say, like, I want to make sure it's a bedroom in a modern style. this is my color palette that I prefer, but I do have this specific budget. Let's say 2,000, 1,000 KD. And then the system or the platform that we've built is actually going to show them their space within items from different partners that we are dealing with. Linking, because I know that designing interior spaces can be hectic for some people. They are not aware that this item can be found in X shop or in Y shop. So it's actually, we are telling them that this item, you can find it there, but everything within the budget that you are assigning.
Now, I'd like to shift gears. And what was the hardest part from the transition from designer to CEO?
As I said, that by nature, I'm a very perfectionist. I try to make sure that everything is aligned, everything, like even the spacing, if I'm sending an email or having a contract, I try to make sure that everything is aligned. So being someone who's perfect or trying to be perfect in all the deliverables that I'm trying to do, to someone who shouldn't be focused about this small details. I should be focused more in the vision and the mission of the company, making sure we sign more deals and have more partners in our platform, as well as to scale it. So the transition wasn't an easy thing. Still, I do love to go and see how the design is happening and what is happening behind the scenes, but it's always it's very challenging in the first few, I would say, months, if not longer. What requires is just the acceptance that you need to accept and acknowledge that your role should not be the same, and stop being, I would say, micromanagers. You know that you need to know everything. You need to trust the team that you have. You need to trust the process that you assigned for.
Yeah. Is it fair to say that maybe for that, the best thing to do is delegate responsibility?
Yes, it's the best thing. Honestly, seeing all the successful businesses, not just here in Kuwait, even in the GCC, we realize that the team is very important in any business that you have, because you need someone to take care or carry this message with you, and every responsibility should be taken care by the individuals. You just know what is happening, but you don't need to know all the details. Like if someone actually went to the meeting, you just need to know what is the end result of it. You don't need to know what happened during the meeting. So yeah.
Well, Ahmed, we'd like to pause there, of course, and we'll move on to this report. Dear viewers, as usual, we have been working very hard. Everyone behind the scenes have been working very hard to bring you the best content. And with that, they have prepared this report. Let's watch it together, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Hala Kuwait on KTV2, the family channel. And I'm pleased once again to be joined by our distinguished guest in the studio, Mr. Ahmad Salmeen, sustainable and green building engineer. Now, I'd like to ask you, sir, about, what is one business value you refuse to compromise on?
Honestly, we do have, as a company, we do have a different and a lot of values. I would say there are two specifically. One is sustainability. So the first, when I talk about sustainability, as I was saying earlier about designing sustainable space, to have a sustainable space, you need sustainable product. So we are ensuring that the product that we are showcasing in our platform are actually compliant. For instance, if we are talking about paint, we are ensuring the paint has a low chemical compounds that are actually not contributing to people's health negatively. And the second one, I would say transparency. We want to be very transparent with our users, our end users who are using the platform, or even our partners. We do have sustainability commitment when it comes to our carbon footprint, when it comes to delivery. So we are actually ensuring that all these carbon footprints are being reported for our partners and our end users. So we want everyone to know what is happening behind the scenes, and as well as to take care about the integrity.
Right. Ahmed, has sticking to those values ever, some opportunities might have been missed because of it?
Yes. But again, because we cannot please everyone, I would say. So yes, some partners or some partners who has some specific product that we feel they are not aligned with the vision of what we are trying to do. So we unfortunately said for them, like, no, it's just because of what's the mission behind what we are building. So yes, there is a lot of opportunities we've missed, I would say, but it's just for the good cause, I would call it.
Of course, maybe in the long run, it's beneficial to all parties, yeah. Now, I'd like to ask you, how has your definition of success changed since day one? A lot of things have happened, so how has it changed for you?
Also, I don't, as well as the risk or the failure, I just love to call success as achievement because it's very subjective. Some people think that this success is not a success. So I personally prefer is to call it achievement, and I love to celebrate my achievement milestone by milestone. However, it's changed from day one when we decided to open a company. That was to me a success or a milestone. Launching our MVP on the platform or in the iOS, it was another success. Switching it into developing more intense in app or being developed, it's another success. So it's a journey, I would say, and it's not a continuous the same flow. Some achievement or success are small, but some is big. But what matters to us, or to me personally, is to celebrate all these milestones, even if they were, like, I would say, failure. I really do love to celebrate them, just for me to understand what went wrong and how to improve it next time.
Well said. Now, what did your very first workspace look like?
I feel this is very common with any entrepreneur or a person who is starting something. It's just a desk with a side lamp and a laptop. Simple. And a long night, if not a sleepless night. If you want to change the scenery, you just go to a cafe from one to another. So I remember those days when I wanted to create it. And it's just before even having a team. It was like everything, you are doing it by yourself, from the social media to going and talking to people. So it was a very simple, but it was really enjoyable, honestly speaking.
Right. Now, how do you use your own design tips to keep your team motivated?
I would say that because we do have a core values when it comes like to the team who joins us, we always take care about sustainability. We need someone with us in the team to make our company or the business itself bigger than what it is just focusing or helping us to deliver the message, which is sustainability. Our mission from day one was very clear, which is to have more sustainable spaces for everyone and to make it accessible and easier for people to have it. So the design tips, I would call it, it's everything that we are trying to develop or deliver in the app, from implementing some biophilic features of plants into having more earthy tones when it comes to the paints. It's more about natural lighting itself. So there is a lot, and they are all the team are aware of all the steps. But what we care about is the message to actually deliver what we are doing.
What's the most unconventional, let's say, advice you'd give a new founder?
Honestly, I will not give an advice. I would give something that I have heard from one mentor whose name is Mike. So once I attended a session, and he mentioned to us that we should love the problem and not the solution that we are providing, because the solution can change with the change of what is happening there. So for instance, with the technology, the problem or the business itself can change. However, when it comes to our problem, the core of our business should be the same, but the way that we are actually solving it might be different. For instance, myself, when I started this, the way that we wanted to deliver was completely different. However, we accepted that that the solution that we were trying to develop are actually not working. So we had to pivot and to change it. The second thing I would say, it's also for them to accept that something might not work and they should try another thing. Because there is a lot of people, when they are trying to do something, they are actually keep on the same item that they are doing, but they should look into another, like if one door is closed, go to another, or even a window.
So talk about risks, and I want to ask you, what was the biggest financial risk when you first begun?
It started when I decided to quit my full-time job and to focus entirely on my startup and to focus on this. So this is my biggest, I think, financial risk.
It's a huge step.
It is. Everyone was saying, like, are you serious? You're just leaving your stable income to unknown. But to me, this is it's excitement. Like every day, knowing that I decided to quit and to start something from scratch, I know that I will struggle, like let's say financially. I won't have the leisure and the entertainment that I used to have. But to me, it's worth it. And this adds on when we started to develop the app. And to reach out more to people, when we started to hire some people to help us to grow. It's a lot of financial risk, but to me, the biggest was when I just decided to quit.
So you mentioned something about the mentor you had. His name is Mike, I believe.
Yes.
Can you expand on how he was able to change your mindset? Tell us more about it, please.
Honestly speaking, I had a lot of mentors with this journey. Mike is one of them, and the second that I can't not mention her name is Nurhan. So Nurhan, she is one of the best to me, who added a lot of values to what we are building. So she shaped the business mindset, because as I said earlier that I come from an engineering background, I have no idea about business and how to make actually money out of the solution or the problem we are having. So Nurhan came with a business background and a mindset. So she really helped us to shape our business model, even the strategy that we are building. I had a lot of, honestly, mentors and believers from my friend Faisal, who invested his money just because he wanted, he believed in what we are, or I personally are doing. From the mentors that I had from my previous work, a lot. Like, honestly, I can't mention all of them. But honestly speaking, if I would recall the question about and the advice, I would emphasize that people should have people who have different background and mindsets to help you in your business itself, because you should acknowledge that you don't know everything. It's so hard for you to believe that you actually know everything, from marketing to business to accounting. You need people who you can trust, who can take this idea with you to success, because you cannot be, there are some solo founders, which is, it's working for them, but in most cases you need people to have you, whether it's your team or even an advisory group.
Where do you see the company's impact in, let's say, 5 years?
This question is sometimes it's a very tricky when it comes to years. I'm not going to define a specific year, because I really want to see it tomorrow and not in 5 years. As I said, our mission is to create healthier spaces to everyone. So we need to raise the awareness or spread the platform, not just here in Kuwait, but even in GCC, because the problem that we are solving is not just here in Kuwait or it's just in the GCC, it's global. When we recently been to the Web Summit in Doha, and there were a lot of people around the world are participating in the exhibition, and we realized that it's actually not just here in the GCC. Everyone needs the solution. Everyone are struggling when it comes to the interior space.
Well, Ahmed, it was a pleasure having you on the
so
show.
Much.
And we thank you for sharing your insights with us
much.
today.
Thank you so much for having me. It means a lot.
Well, dear viewers, that was Mr. Ahmad Salmeen, a sustainable and green building engineer. Now, we move on to this report that we have prepared. Let's watch it together, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.